Leetcode question 2296. Design a text editor. Design a text editor with a cursor that can do the following. Add text to where the cursor is. Delete text from where the cursor is. Simulating the backspace key. Move the cursor either left or right. When deleting text, only characters to the left of the cursor will be deleted. The cursor will also remain within the actual text and cannot be moved beyond it. More formally, we have that 0 less than or equal to cursor.position less than or equal to current text.length always holds. Implement the text editor class. We first initialize the object with empty text. Add text appends text to where the cursor is. The cursor ends to the right of the text. Delete text. Delete k characters to the left of the cursor. Returns the number of characters actually deleted. Cursor left. Move the cursor to the left k times. Return the last characters. This number of characters returned is the smallest between 10 and then the length of the text to the left of the cursor. Cursor right. Move the cursor to the right k times. Also return the last k minimum 10 and length characters to the left of the cursor. So for this example 1, so we first initialize the text editor, and then we add the text Leetcode to it. So the current text is Leetcode, and then this is the cursor position, and we delete text for position. So we delete those 4 characters, and then the result is Leet, followed by the cursor. And then we add text practice, and then this text becomes Leet practice, and then the cursor is at the rightmost position. And then cursor right 3. So in this case, we move the cursor to the right 3 times. But since this is already at the boundary, so we are actually not moving it. So in this case, the current text is this. So my initial interpretation of this is a little bit different. Before seeing this example, I thought like 3 is actually moving 3 and leave 3 white spaces, but here it's actually not leaving any white space, so it just still Leet practice. Because it says, okay, the cursor cannot be moved beyond the actual text, and thus did not move it. And then it returned the last 10 characters to the left of the cursor, that is ET practice. And then we call cursor left 8. So since right now, the cursor before move, cursor is at this position, and then call cursor left 8. So move to the left 8 characters, and then the current text is Leet followed by cursor, and then followed by practice. And then since we return the minimum of the length of characters to the left of the cursor, and then also 10, so now we just return 4 characters. And then we delete text 10. So since there's only 4 characters to the left, so we only delete 4 characters. So it becomes cursor followed by practice. And then cursor left 2. So in this case, we are not moving the cursor because the cursor cannot be moved beyond the actual text. And then in this case, there is no text to the left, so the return empty string. And then call the cursor right 6, and then move this from the beginning of the text to 6 characters. And then we return the characters to the left of the cursor. So the first solution, the first idea for solving this is actually we can use two lists. So basically we have a list called self.left. So basically that is the string to the left of the cursor. And then self.right is store string to the right of the cursor. And then while we are moving cursor, we are actually moving the elements. Let's say when we move the cursor from left to the right, we are actually move the elements from the right of the cursor from this right list to the left list. So let's implement the code. So self.left, this is empty list, and then self.right is also in empty list initially. And then we are trying to add a text. So in this case, for the character in this text, we get self.left append. So we append this character to the left list. And then when we are deleting text, so when we are delete the text, when we implement this delete function, so basically for the delete, we are deleting it to the left of the cursor. So in that case, we are deleting it from the left list. So while this one, so basically when we delete it, so we can delete at most k and k characters, because let's say if the left list, if k is 10 but the left list only has 4 characters in it, so we can only delete 4 characters. So that's why we are wrapping it inside this while loop and set a condition to check both the list should not be empty, and also k is greater than 0. And then we also need to return the number of characters we actually deleted. So let's have a count. And in the end, we can just return the count. Here, actually, we can change this line. So basically, we'll count less than k. And then after that, let's move the cursor to the left. So in this case, we'll self.left. And then also count less than k. We set the count to 0 initially. So when we move the cursor to the left, it's popping the elements from the left list and then add that element to the right list. So pop. And then let's have a result list. We also need to return the characters to the left of the cursor after we move the cursor to the left. So let's leave this part later. So first, let's move this cursor to the left. So move the cursor to the left, basically we are popping from the left list and then add that element to the right list. So that is self.right append self.left pop. And then count. And then after that, we just return the characters to the left of this cursor. And then for return this elements to the left of the cursor, since this part is going to be used by both cursor left and cursor right, so let me write another function. So define the left string as of and then for count, let me see. So basically, well, this self.left and okay, we return to the left of the cursor. So in that case, we just return basically the minimum of 10 and then the length. And then we just return self.left minus L to the end. And then we can just use this one, return self.left string. And then now let's move the cursor to the right. So in this case, for self.right and count less than k. Self.left append self.right pop. So when we move cursor from left to the right, we are actually removing elements from the right list and then add that to the left list. So let's run this solution. Oh, so here I just remove those characters. What I should return is the string form. That's why I should join them. So this is the to-list solution. Let's just try to recap the idea. So the idea is to use to-list. One is called self.left to store the strings to the left of the cursor. So basically it's a list of characters and each character is to the left of this cursor. Self.right store characters to the right of the cursor. And then basically add text is just append to the left list. And then delete text. Basically we are popping from the left list. And then for cursor left, we're moving cursor from right to the left. So in that case, we are actually removing elements from the left list and then add that to the right list. And then for cursor right, we are moving cursor from left to the right. So in that case, we are removing elements from the right list and then add that to the left list. Remember, left and right indicates the strings or characters to the left of the cursor or right of the cursor. So this is the two-list solution. I'm going to have another video explaining the doubly linked list solution.